What are we doing?
We're getting it right before it's time.
Several years ago, we did a video on setting up a redneck hay bale blind on the big food plot at my grandpa's. And we've had several really good hunts out of it, but one thing that I began to notice the more that we hunted it, the blind was just too close to the food plot. And the way that food plot slopes, it slopes down to where the deer are normally at. And right before dark, usually your wind is dying, and our scent, even though we would have a perfect west wind, our scent would tend to float back down that hill, and we were spooking some deer. So I decided we needed to do something different. So this year we got a brand new big country 6x7 blind from Redneck. We're going to put it on the food plot. We're going to back it off just a little bit, but I'm going to put it at the perfect spot, right where the pinch and the farthest shot whenever the deer come through there is right at 39 yards. As soon as the deer steps out, I know exactly who he is. It's a deer that I call Nobody. We think he's a 5-year-old. I've got a couple velvet pictures of him this year, a couple videos of him on the scrape and the edge of the food plot. But really, in years past, he avoided the trail cameras. I saw him several times while I was deer hunting, but he was always that deer that you really didn't pay a lot of attention to. He didn't, he wasn't a big deer by any means, but we knew that, if he got old enough, that he could possibly come into his own. Of self-filming. It hasn't cost me a deer yet, but this one here is going to be a tough track. I leaned out. I couldn't get him to stop. He walked right through my hole. I guess I should have shot him a little bit sooner, but I had to lean out. I mean, no excuses. I just hit the deer back, and it happens. It's part of bow hunting. I'm super comfortable with that shot. I mean, it's dead on 40 yards. I can hit that all day. But I heard something crash right there, and I don't know if that was him going down or what, but I highly doubt it. This is going to be a tough one. Right whenever I pulled the trigger and seen where that arrow hit, I knew that we were going to have a problem. It looked like it was way far back, and it's one of those shots where, you know, I felt 100% comfortable. I have no doubt in my mind that I can make that shot. I aimed just on the lower third. I knew he was going to squat into the shot, but the one thing that I didn't account for is that arrow. If you watch the footage and frame by frame, and you can see it tracking perfect to that deer, and it's like it gets 10 feet from him and it takes a direct right, and it hits about 8 to 12 inches to the right of where I was aiming. And I don't know if the wind caught it or if I just had an arrow that was flying weird, but it definitely hit back. So, you know, my initial reaction was, let's wait until morning and come back in. We'll slip in there. None of the other deer spooked. He's gonna lay up pretty quick, and hopefully we can find him.
Deer didn't go. Like I can still see the blind. Big old bladed brow tine. Super massive. Beautiful deer. Heck yeah, buddy. It doesn't get much better than sitting in the redneck on the food plot around all the habitat that you've built. And this is only the third time I've been hunting all year. And I've hunted that stand every time because I can get in the backside. I can ride my bike in, slip through the corn, west wind, blows out across the pond. It's bulletproof. So most of you guys that have watched the Management Advantage over the last 5 years or followed along with what we've done out here at Grandpa's farm and building the habitat, we killed this buck last night, and I wanted to tell you a little bit of a story. It kind of goes along with it. It first started off, which I guess the long version of it would be 2010. Grandpa passed away, and I wanted to make our wedding ring out of a deer antler off the farm. And the first time I was able to go hunting after we got married, I had the ring on. Ended up, to shorten the story, I killed a deer that I had made the antler out of. That deer I called Grandpa. He was 10 and a half years old, and it was like Grandpa said, I want to go hunting with you one more time. Well, now he gets to go hunting with me every time. So over the last several years, every time I've killed a deer, I've had this ring on. And starting out this season, it started out really slow, and I was kind of behind on, getting started hunting this year. And up until last night, I didn't have the ring on because I was afraid of losing it. And I'd had it slip off a couple times, and I just didn't want to lose it. So I had it in the console of my truck. And before I got out to go hunting yesterday afternoon, I put it on. and we killed one of our target deer. So it's ironic, and it kind of makes you believe in a higher power, but just something pretty special I wanted to share with you guys here on the family farm.
Your own sacred